And that's a great thing to bring up, Kel, because that's the other thing that when dancers, they're really heartbroken because they didn't get the audition that they went for, that they don't realize that sometimes they're still being considered, right? And so I don't think a lot of people necessarily know Kelly's story. Kelly wasn't originally chosen. I wanted her, but I think at that moment it really was between you and Jennifer Lopez. What a weird
Yeah,
thing to say, right? Like
I know. I know. I love this story.
and they were completely different dancers. I loved Kelly because she was so laid back. She was cool and funky and like just unpretentious. And then Jennifer was just hardcore in your face.
Yeah.
That time, the dancers that we had, right? We had Josie,
Yeah.
uh, Tish, we had Omar. I think we had Keith at the time.
Nikki.
And so it just, it's one of those things that still dancers sometimes don't understand. It's like it doesn't mean you're not good enough. It's just now you've made the good enough
Yeah.
group. Now we're putting people together and go like, actually Jennifer's energy matches a little bit more with
Correct.
your energy. And
I
then
totally, I mean, I understood it later on in life. At that moment that, that I got so far in the Janet audition and then to not get to that final step, like it was heartbreaking. And
yeah,
and it's I mean, I was very young too, so I wasn't equipped to deal, I didn't quite know how to deal with that. I knew I was good. I was so proud of how far I got. I was actually very surprised at how far I got, but I also thought I was going to get it.
I mean, again, you kind of did in my mind, right?
Yeah.
And literally, and so then what happened? When we did the promo, we did what
Yeah,
was it?
That's where love
you
goes.
guys did that Sway Love Goes video, and then you went on promo tour.
Right. And that's when we actually didn't leave because we didn't take Jennifer with us. Didn't you come to do the promo?
No, 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 no. I think she was there, no? Or
No,
maybe,
because she had gotten a call. We had just done the video.
oh yeah, she did the video, just not the promo tour.
Right. Because she'd gotten a call for a callback for, I think, South Central.
Yeah.
And she was in that, like, listen, guys, this is what's going on. And she had auditioned for that before she was chosen. It wasn't like she had our job and then went. So she got a call back and she's like, I really want to do this. And of course, at that time, Renee was like, we were all like,
What?
nobody leaves Janet.
I
Like, what?
know.
But she was like,
Who is this girl?
right. No one ever heard from her again.
Yeah, right. I mean, I still think about it and I go, my goodness, like look at that career path. You know what I mean? Like she's very inspiring to me. Like whenever I watch her stuff or I just go, oh my gosh, we all started at, at the same place, but it's those people that just have that pinpoint focus of what they really want to do. And dance was just not it, not the only thing she wanted to do. Then she moved on to this like amazing acting career. And I was like, oh, like she also inspired me as an actor. So yeah.
Yeah, she had felt like she fulfilled her dance
Yeah.
career, right? She was a fly girl and she'd done some other stuff and like that was her path, but she wanted to go shoot that and let us go do promo and then come back and rejoin. We're like, we that doesn't work. It doesn't, work for us. And literally Kelly was right there. Like she was the next one in line. Like it wasn't even a thought really. It was just like, and for me, I was like, because
Yeah.
as great as Jennifer was, I'm like, that's a whole lot of personality. And we had
Yeah.
personalities at that time, right? With the group that were originally chosen. I was like, whoo, I don't know how we're going to get through this one, but let's
And
just try.
I think that's really an important thing for dancers to know, right? It's like you have very, four really like strong personalities. You got to balance that out with like, Lil Kelly from Canada who's not gonna say anything and just like, be there to listen and whatever. But I think that's really important. Even on the gigs that I, choreograph here, I look at those kind of things. I look at who's going to be, the chatters, the talkers, and who else do I need that is just there to get the job done and
Right.
make my job easy.
Yeah.
And they might be not as good as this guy over here, but I would much rather work with this person.
Right. So I was just happy that our paths crossed and that was you were able to come on board with us because I think that dynamic, you know, I talk about this a lot being bookends. I mean, that was her and Nikki. They were the perfect bookends. Shawnette and I were the bookends.
Yeah.
And that was like on stage, off stage. And I know you have a ton more questions, Kelly. So I'm gonna let you because Kelly, well, Kelly A and Kelly K, like
I know, right? The two Kellys.
some questions because you and I could just reminisce about everything forever.
I know, we really could. I mean, that's the most fun story, though. I do love telling people, yeah, I filled in for J Lo. Thank you, Jennifer.
Yes.
I'm so glad that because I think each of you have told me this story separately. So to have this story now told by the two of you together, like on screen, is like epic. So this is amazing. And T, like, can you talk a little bit about the dynamic of the dancers? And Kel, I want your input on this too for the Janet tour because yeah, like I know that some dancers didn't stay, and then Kel this was your first major tour, Kelly. We'll start with you on that.
On the Janet tour?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. That was my first, I mean, besides doing Prince, that was my very first Janet tour. And I was still quite young. I think at 18 and just along for the ride.
And you know what? That was the point I was going to make earlier, but my brain went, psh, was so Kelly didn't make the cut for Janet. And then I ended up doing Prince somewhere in between there. And because I loved her so much, I was like, yes, like it wasn't even a thought. I don't even know. Did you audition or I just called you?
No, I remember in my apartment, in my little nasty LA apartment on Lancashire, getting your phone call, and that wasn't that long after the Janet tour.
It wasn't.
I'm sorry, not the Janet tour, the Janet audition.
Right.
And I remember you saying, you know, I really love, they're like, Tina's on the phone. I'm like, what? And I'm like, what is she calling me about? And then to find out that you wanted me to go on to, I think you were just like, you needed people right away. You needed two girls. You're like, do you want to go do this little US tour with Prince? And I was a huge Prince fan and I was obviously wanting to dance for you. So that was a no-brainer. That made me feel better immediately because I was probably still in mourning of the Janet loss. and that was my first way of actually dancing with Tina and working with her. And then from then on, it was like, I mean, I remember it was Prince asked me to do the European leg. And then that's when you called me and said, we want you to be the understudy. We want to, you told me it was for, because I don't think you just wanted to not get my hopes up too much. You know what I mean? And so you said you wanted to bring me in to teach me if, and then you and I met at Screenland and I learned if, and then you told me the only thing I needed to work on was hitting it harder. And then, and then I met you guys all at another studio, and that's when Janet came in. And then that's when you guys said, you want me as not the understudy, as the dancer. And I was like, what is going on right now? And then literally like that week, we went to Hawaii.
Oh, I totally forgot that. I forgot. But see, now, Kelly A, we've talked about that a lot, right? I've talked about that a lot, how I've worked with artists enough that they get all excited. Oh yeah, let's hire that person. And then like you're on the call, they're like, no, actually we don't need them. And I'm like, you can't do that to our souls. So I hold on to information until I know, like,
yeah,
are you 100%? And so, yeah, that was my way of going.
you're protecting me. Yeah.
Let me see if she can handle this material because doing an audition is different, right? It's not the same material. And if she didn't make the cut, I would have just been, okay, so we'll call you.
Correct.
Never known that was an audition, but that was me kind of saving face for Janet and her heart.
Correct.
Yeah. So, oh my God, I totally forgot about that. But how neat that's awesome.
You know, like Kelly, like does that not show a lot about Tina? You know, thinking we are humans ultimately. Dancers have super thick skin. We have to. but you know, we all feel pain, we all feel let down and rejection and stuff like that, and that would have really hurt. So thank you, you know, and I always still think about that when I even work with whoever I get to hire. It's not just about like getting the job done. It's about giving these human beings a positive experience of working with me or working on the job that they're doing and enjoying it. Because if we can't enjoy it and we're just doing it to do it, it's not worth it.
Yeah, and T, that speaks volume to your character, because I know just even in my career as a radio announcer, like the amount of drama I've gone through with certain bosses or management or whatever, and like certain ones handle you well and you want to follow them across the entire country because they take care of your spirit. Because we also as radio announcers get fired in 2 minutes if they all of a sudden decide they don't like the tone of our voice, and so we also have to have thick skin, but we're also artists, like we're voice artists, you know, on the air, and that's how we do. So if we're treated badly, like it hurts and it follows us. So I wish more management had been like you, that was, you know, riding a line, like taking care of the artist, but also taking care of your dancer, to know that Kelly could go on to do other things if it didn't work out with Janet and not have like a heavy heart, you know? So that's volumes. I wanted, Tina, can you tell the people who are watching what Janet's initial thoughts were of Kelly?
I don't know if you remember. She probably just trusted Tina. It was just like, yeah, hire her.
I would liked you, but those were the notes, right? It was funny because with Jennifer, it was like, can you tame that?
Yeah.
And with Kelly, it was, can we get her? Can we give her a little bit more? She just needs a little more oomph, right? And I think that's really all. Like Janet loved her vibe, she loved her look, she loved her flow, but it was just like Kelly is very laid back, and but I'm also very laid back too. And like we would watch our stuff, and I'm like, holy cow! Like we gotta, especially when you're dancing next to Tish. Tish does one move and it's like just blows you in the face, right? And Kelly and I can do the same move, but it's like, woo, we're way back.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. That's probably what it was, Kelly. I think it was just, I think that was more so like, I think when I first met Janet, or when she was there watching that rehearsal, it was just to kind of see that the look worked.
Right.
You know, my size with the rest of the dancers and herself. And then get kind of a feeling for my energy. You know, I think that was probably a little part of it from what I remember. I don't know.
The blend was really nice. And then you and Nikki both moved in with me, and then it was a whole different thing. It was just like, wow, we're like a real family.
We are. We will forever be.
Absolutely.